Have you ever set up a training course for either yourself or indeed your business, where you've been rather disappointed with the return that you've received after the training course has been completed? Well, if you have, you're not alone, because so many organizations actually feel that way. But why is that the case? Because the way that training courses actually go on, they've been going on like that for decades. So why is it that sometimes you actually get training courses that are absolutely phenomenal and you get a massive return on it, but sometimes you actually have some that, you possibly even put more investment into, but the return is so disappointing? Well, one of the reasons is the fact that we've been doing the same sort of format, or most people have been doing the same sort of format for many, many years, probably decades in all honesty. And that's the fact of it's identify someone that's actually got a skill set issue, or indeed someone that's actually needs more knowledge, whether it's a promotion or a side move or whatever. And we've identified someone that isn't happy. Right? Okay, look, the artwork doesn't get any better, I can assure you. So we've identified a need with someone, haven't we? Okay. And then and the traditional method has always been, build a bridge. So you put on a training course and of course give people the knowledge, and then when we come out the other side, we've actually got happy employees. And then when we've got the happy employees, they're going to just apply that information and the business is going to benefit massively, isn't it? Yeah? Would you agree with that? That's the traditional way that's happened for many, many years. So why doesn't it happen that you get a quality return on investment each and every time? Well, there are several different reasons, okay? Let's be honest. Because as far as training courses are concerned, they're damn expensive to run. Whether you've got an in-house trainer, whether you've got an external trainer coming in, when you consider the cost per day, couple of days, week, whatever it is, as far as the employees out of the business attending the training course, it soon mounts up. So doesn't it make sense that we get better return on investment where possible? So that's why we need to look at why we don't necessarily get the best return on investment, okay? Now, from my experience, whether I've been doing a training or indeed a coaching course, one of the first things that we actually need to look at is the employee, colleague, friend, whatever, that's going to be attending the course. See, there are so many individuals that I've come across in my time, yes, that basically just feel like they've been press ganged to attend a training. I don't know whether that's happened to you. But if that is the case, realistically, how inclined are they, to actually take full part in the course? And I don't mean just attending, but I mean play full out and be so attentive and give as far as the group is concerned. Not so much. I've even had people turn up on a course that I've been doing and just turn around and said, don't know why we're here, I've got no idea what the course is about. Yes. Do you think they're going to get massive value from it? Yes, they will, providing it's handled right, but it's not the best start, I'm sure you'll agree. So one of the ways of actually doing that is to actually start off the right way. And many organizations that I've come across actually do this, but there's also many that don't, okay? And that is what to do to start off with is pre-train. Now, you may well do that as far as your organization is concerned, in which case, fantastic. And if you don't, then maybe when I've actually shared a little bit about it, it may well be the ideal time to actually start. But what is pre-training? Well, in essence, pre-training is getting in touch with the delegates that are going to be attending that event and letting them know what it's about. Why potentially is that a good thing? Well, if they've got a vested interest in it already, let's say it's something that they're looking forward to a course, then they'll actually start thinking about the subject matter and what they can potentially get out. So when they know that they're going to be getting something from it, they're more inclined to actually give more. Okay, not saying it's right, but that's the way human beings work. Okay, when they can see value in something, that's when they're actually going to put more effort in. But it's also a case of, depending on how you do this as well. Now, I always get delegates to do this, but when they're actually marking themselves, if you will, as in taking a snapshot of where they are now, then that's good validation as far as the individual is concerned as to whether identifying a weakness or a strength, whichever. Okay, so pre-training can be a great way to go. And then, of course, it depends on the quality of the trainer. Now, I'm not having to go at trainers here by any means, but it's the same with everything in life, isn't it? Yeah, we've got great trainers, we've got not so good trainers. Like we've got great management, not so good management. Great friends, not so good friends. We're on a spectrum, aren't we? Okay, and it's about opinions and hopefully the results that we actually achieve for people. And I don't just mean training, I mean with anything that we do in life. But also, let's be honest, yeah, we're all human beings. And I'm sure you're like I am, and there have been days that, hey, you've just had one of those days, it happens. But if you've got people that are going to be attending the course that don't want to be there, excuse me, then it puts an awful lot of emphasis then on the trainer to turn those people around. Now, arguably, that's not really fair on the trainer. Because if you don't get your return on investment, then it's very easy for all the delegates to turn around and say the trainer was rubbish. Now, maybe they were, I don't know. Okay, but it's easy to lay blame, isn't it? But then once the course has actually gone on, then we come to here. So hopefully we've got happy bunnies on the other side of the course. Now, this could be a training course, could be a coaching course, whatever it is. And then another great way, especially when you get the right colour pen. Oops, that's meant to be an arrow, believe it or not. Post train. Again, it seems logical, doesn't it? We do the pre-train, so doesn't it make sense to do the post-train? Yeah, but again, so many organisations don't do it. But again, why are we doing it? Apart from anything else, it's anchoring in what the delegates actually gleaned from the course. Okay? Most organisations and most individuals do not realise that's why one of the advantages of actually post-training. Okay? So it's anchoring in what has actually been learned. But also, if you've done the pre-train and they've marked themselves where they are then, when you do the post-train, they're marking themselves where they are then as well, and you can actually quite easily gauge the difference between the two. But more importantly, with all due respect to you, the individual can gauge where they are as well. See, we know that what tends to happen if we're feeling good about ourselves, we tend to, generalizing when I say this, we tend to not want to stick our head above the parapet, so we downgrade ourselves slightly. And if we're feeling really bad about ourselves, we don't want to look that bad, so we upsell ourselves slightly. Okay, that's the way that human beings are. And that's a broad generalization. But that's just a couple of elements there. If you do it in the traditional way, that may well enhance the likes of your return on investment for your training or indeed coaching course. Well, that's how the future has actually changed. We're in the future now in comparison to yesterday. Now is the future. Things have changed massively. Yeah, it was something that I've actually done for some years now. But it's also a case that it's been enhanced realistically as far as the pandemic is concerned as well. Okay. And the reality is, it's all very well getting people young, people have been identified, they've got a need or whatever. But what happens if no matter what you do, even with your pre-training, they still really not interested in your course? Then you've potentially got an issue there. See, when I'm actually doing courses, as an example, the very first thing that I work on is the person here. Not about the subject matter, it's the person. Because did you realize that it's actually said that 87% of the human population are actually in a negative state? A negative state meaning that they are struggling on a daily basis, or the vast majority of the time, with worry, anxiety, frustration, anger, or depression. And that's work that's actually been done by David Hawkins, Dr. David Hawkins, in fact, sorry. Okay, so if you think of that, wow, how engaged are they likely to be as far as your course is concerned? See, the reality is, for you to advance your business, to get the most out of your courses, to take the business to another level, the thing is, work on this one first. Okay? It may well be part of the course, but work on this one first. We've got mental health that's coming out all over the place at the moment. Work on the individuals first. That was not slapping them, I hasten to add, yes, but work on the individuals first. Okay, once you work on the individuals, then this lot becomes so much easier. And I'll tell you something else as well, they're going to thank you for it massively. Now, I've done courses before now, I've done coaching, well, they've turned into coaching courses. Weren't originally designed that way, but people were in such a poor state. What we did is, first chunk, and that's why I started changing my courses, and now everything I do is basically coaching courses now. But it totally turned it around, because so many people were just coming to me in an awful state. They were nowhere near ready to actually be on a training course. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to business, what we're talking of here, the traditional method, is strategy. Okay? But the reality is, only 20% of business is strategy. Can't fit that in, okay? 80% is psychology, okay? That's it. We've heard so much about mental health. It's in the media all the time now. So work on these guys first. I don't mean with the pre-train. I mean, if you're going to be putting a course together, get someone that understands people and get them to add an extra day on, or whatever. Work on these guys first, and I tell you, the results that you're going to get out the other end is going to far outweigh doing it that way than what you do in the traditional way. Okay? That may well seem a bit weird, okay? Well, we're adding more money to it because an extra day or so. Yeah, fine, it is. But like I said, the return that you're going to get is massively. It's massively enhanced. Why? Because apart from anything else, if it's done right, these guys are going to get so many things handled before they start with a course. Not only is it going to add more value as far as they're concerned to the course, but out of the back end, if you will, the results that you're going to get are going to be far greater, because apart from anything else, you've actually got happier employees that know exactly where they're going. So I hope you found that on value. And if I can actually be of any assistance at all, then by all means get in touch with myself, and that's www.davewilliamscoaching.com. And I hope, like I say, I hope you've got some value from this. So until the next time, take care, no matter where you are, whatever you're doing, have a fantastic day.